This guy was heading home after a night out with his boys when he suddenly noticed a black car tailing him. He tried to lose them, but they followed his every turn. He had no choice but to rush straight home. The second he pulled up to his house, he jumped out of his Lamborghini and sprinted inside, thinking he ran away in total fear. The two robbers hopped out of their car to steal his abandoned ride. But just as they walked up to the car, the man rushed back outside holding a freaking bazooka. The moment the robbers saw that, they absolutely panicked, scrambled right back into their car and sped off. This guy was barely learning how to ride a bike, but his friends suddenly spotted him and begged him for a ride. Since he was too embarrassed to admit the truth, he actually agreed. He was totally terrified and riding super slow, but his friends kept hyping him up to go faster, desperate to impress them. He cranked the throttle and started speeding down the road, but suddenly a minivan pulled out right in front of them. With a sharp turn on one side and a massive open drain straight ahead, he completely panicked, and instead of hitting the brakes, he tried to stop by dragging his feet on the ground. The friend on the back saw it coming and hopped off just in time. So while two of them took a terrible swim, this buddy lived to tell the tale. This guy was looking to pull off a quick robbery when he suddenly noticed a delivery driver about to drop off a package. He immediately pulled his scooter near the porch and waited for the perfect chance. The delivery woman walked toward the house, but suddenly noticed this strange guy just smiling at her. She instantly knew something was sketchy, so she marched right back to her van to grab some backup. And the moment the would-be thief saw her walking back up with a literal baseball bat, he yelled, "That isn't even yours! You doing all that for what?" The woman completely ignored him and just kept moving forward. The guy leaned against the fence, still waiting for his chance to snatch it. But she rang the bell to alert the owner. Looking totally proud, she started walking back to her van with her bat in hand. Furious that his plan was ruined, the guy yelled, "F you and your punk-ass package!" So she immediately whipped out a taser and tased the guy right on the fence.
Huh? That's not even be yours. You doing all that for what?
She was home alone playing Roblox late at night when her mom suddenly called. In pure panic, she said, "Sweetie, grab the puppy and hide right now. There's a burglar in the house." The girl hung up, but she didn't panic at all. Instead of hiding, she was actually curious to see him. So she stood right at the top of the stairs and waited. The burglar started creeping up the steps, but he completely froze when he spotted her. Seeing it was just a little girl holding a rope, he actually pulled out his phone and started recording to make fun of her. With a creepy grin, he lunged right at her, but she didn't even flinch. She just calmly waved to her side. And then these two robbers saw an opportunity too good to miss. While this young man was riding his bike home, he suddenly heard some loud noises. As he turned around to check it out, he saw two robbers chasing him, and one of them was waving a freaking machete. He slammed the brakes in panic. Before he even knew it, one robber blocked his path, and the other one swung the machete to scare him, as if he was about to strike. The kid froze in fear and sat down on the ground, hoping the robbers would spare him. But right across the street, a man had been watching, waiting for the perfect moment. And just when the robber was about to take off with the young man's bike, the man dashed out, sneaked up from behind, and knocked down the robber with a flying kick. The other robber panicked and slammed the throttle, leaving his buddy eating the dirt. This guy's car suddenly broke down right in the middle of the street. So he hopped out and started pushing it from behind to get it to a parking spot. But suddenly, a random guy crossing the road saw the driverless car rolling and thought it was a runaway vehicle. Playing the hero, he threw himself in front of the bumper to stop it. When brute strength failed, he jammed his flip-flop right under the tire. But the car rolled straight over it. Completely confused, he peeked around the right side of the car to see what was pushing back. At the exact same time, the guy in the back peeked around the left side to see what was blocking him, completely missing each other. One guy kept pushing with all his might, while the other guy struggled to hold the car back. They tried peeking again, but kept perfectly missing each other until they finally leaned out at the exact same time. They both burst out laughing and rolled onto the pavement. These guys strapped their buddy into a sketchy makeshift lie detector to finally force the truth out of him. The first friend held up a roll of toilet paper and asked, "Do you only use this to wipe your nose?" The buddy smirked and confidently replied, "Yeah," but a massive shock suddenly hit him, and he screamed, "Ah! It electrocuted me!" While his friends completely cracked up laughing. Determined to beat the machine, he said, "I'll try again." Then the guy running the test leaned in with a massive smirk and dropped the ultimate friendship trap. "Between me and him, who do you like more?" Trying to play it safe, the buddy yelled, "Of course I like you more." An even bigger shock hit him, literally sending him flipping right off the bed. But the guys shared an epic fist bump, leaving the operator looking completely salty. Sighing, the operator said, "All right, last question." The guy confidently replied, "Go ahead." So the operator asked, "Do you like guys or girls more?" The guy scoffed, "Are you crazy? I'm 100% man. I like girls." But the machine immediately hit him with a soul-crushing shock. Panicking, he desperately jammed his hand back onto the sensor to try and fake the results. But it was way too late. Shaking his head, the operator slowly got up, smirked, and said, "Yeah, I don't belong here." He walked out, but then immediately popped his head back in and yelled, "Sorry, enjoy your time together." And he quickly flipped off the lights and walked right out.
这个纸是用来擦笔记的吗？是。那我和范路达之间，你更喜欢谁？
我肯定更喜欢你。我
再问一个。没事，我已经赢了。那你喜欢男生还是喜欢女生？你这话问呢，这不是白问吗？
有毛病吧！我一个大老爷们儿，我喜欢女生。
好，我确实不应该参选。啊，忘了，不好意思啊，幸福啊。
Seeing her friend's vacation posts, she asked her boyfriend for a road trip. He instantly said, "No way! You always fall asleep while I drive. I'd rather play video games." She immediately started begging, "Please, I swear I won't fall asleep this time." Having no other choice, he finally agreed. They quickly loaded up their bags and hopped in the car to hit the road. He was actually super excited. But the exact second he looked over, she was already fast asleep. Suddenly, he noticed a truck hauling another truck on the highway, facing completely backward. He instantly came up with a hilarious plan. He pulled right up behind the truck and screamed, "Ah! Oh my God!" She woke up in pure panic, and seeing a massive truck staring right at them, she immediately started screaming at the top of her lungs.
Oh my God!
This delivery guy got a strange request. With the order, there was a note that said, "This pizza is for you. I just need a favor. My cat hasn't eaten in days. I need you to check on it. I'll even add a $100 tip. Please."
Wow.
He instantly called the customer and asked, "But what does your cat eat?" The customer replied, "The food will arrive there with you." Thinking he just hit the jackpot, he rushed straight to the address for the easiest money ever. The moment he got there, he noticed the keys were in the lock. Thinking the food might already be inside. Just as he pushed open the door, this suspect was on the run, and the cop was right behind him. But he was way too fast. He quickly hopped inside his car, slammed the gas pedal, and thought he had the absolute perfect getaway. But the cop jumped right into his cruiser and immediately started chasing him. The cop caught up to him in no time and demanded, "Pull over now!" But the suspect completely ignored him and just kept driving. So the cop got furious. He deployed a massive car grappler right onto the suspect's bumper and immediately slammed the brakes. The getaway car violently jerked to a complete stop, and when the suspect looked back, his jaw completely dropped. Desperate to escape, he threw his car into reverse and suddenly floored the gas to break free. But the police cruiser didn't budge an inch. Refusing to give up, he tried again. But this time, the heavy cop car budged just a tiny bit. Getting absolutely cocky, the robber aggressively slammed it into reverse, almost hitting the cruiser. He mashed the gas pedal all the way to the floor. But suddenly, his car violently shook like a massive earthquake as his entire rear axle ripped clean off the vehicle.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
This man never dug for gold. He stole it. Wealth came way too easily to him, and when gold no longer excited him, he sought a new thrill. He spotted a woman walking out of an electronics shop, completely distracted by her brand new phone. He sprinted toward her and snatched it right out of her hands. He held it up like a trophy, exploring its features with massive pride. But then he spotted a signboard. Free Wi-Fi! He climbed a massive rock to reach the signal, stretching his hands as high as he could toward the sign. But right as he scanned the QR... These two friends were playing golf when one of them whacked the ball way off the course. Her friend said, "Don't worry, I know a shortcut to find it." But she panicked. "I don't even know how to drive this thing." Her friend just yelled, "Just follow me." The first girl smoothly coasted down the grassy hill and perfectly merged into the traffic. But the second girl came flying down the slope way too fast. She panicked and slammed the brakes. The entire back of her cart flew into the air, pulling off a massive stoppie. Holding onto the steering wheel for dear life, her foot slipped and she completely floored the gas. The cart slammed back down to the ground and instantly popped a wild wheelie and smashed right into a passing car. These two robbers spotted a guy on his phone in a totally deserted area. They slammed their brakes and instantly jumped out. When a random guy walking by saw the muggers, he freaked out and hit the deck. But the thieves ignored him and sprinted straight toward the guy on the bike. Seeing one of them swinging a stick, the biker panicked and instantly surrendered. But the guy on the ground realized they left their doors open. So he dashed into their getaway car and floored the gas, seeing their own car getting stolen. The robbers tried to chase it, but it completely slipped away. Taking full advantage of the distraction, the biker quickly revved up his motorcycle and sped off in the other direction. The thieves tried to run after him too, but failed miserably, leaving the two robbers with absolutely nothing but a stick in their hands. These two robbers pulled up in front of a car to rob it. One of them hops off the bike. Acting all tough, he yells, "Hand over your wallet!" But instead of freaking out, the driver just started laughing and said, "You are gonna regret this." He slowly went for his wallet, but the thug just snatched it right out of his hands. He aggressively flips through it, but suddenly froze when he spots an ID inside. Turns out the guy they were trying to rob was actually a cop. The moment his partner noticed, he took off, literally running for his life. And the tough guy instantly broke down, begging for mercy. But the officer slowly drew his gun and said, "Nah, I liked you better when you had attitude." This guy made the ultimate mistake, falling asleep first at the boys' sleepover. While he was completely knocked out, his friends decided to give him a fake open heart surgery. They went all out and geared up in full blue surgical scrubs. One guy got ready as the main surgeon, the second played his assistant, the third held up a massive ring light, and the fourth grabbed a camera to record the entire thing. They quickly snipped the patient's gown open to prep for surgery. They brought in some red fruit syrup, but right before pouring it on the patient, he took a quick sip, making the cameraman absolutely lose it. The setup was incredibly intense. They even brought in a giant fake heart and drenched it in the red syrup. The surgeon held the bloody fake heart right over their friend's chest and started doing intense CPR. But suddenly, the guy jolted awake. He looked down at the giant bloody organ sitting right on his chest. His jaw completely dropped. He was so utterly traumatized that he literally forgot how to speak. He instantly tried to scream and jump up, but his friends just held him down and told him to stay quiet, turning his peaceful sleep into an absolute nightmare.
Oh boy. Oh my God. Oh hell.
This guy recently got into a little accident and was completely stuck in a wheelchair. His girlfriend took him to the hospital for a checkup and asked the security guard, "Watch over him until I park the car." She quickly parked her car right on a steep slope, hopped out, and happily bounced over to help her boyfriend. But suddenly, her parked car started rolling in reverse down the slope, heading straight for them. Thinking fast, the guard pulled off a full-blown superhero move and leaped directly onto the roof of the car to save himself. Meanwhile, the injured guy started screaming at the top of his lungs, furiously spinning his wheels trying to escape. But as the rogue car got dangerously close, pure survival instinct kicked in. And this man literally sprinted away on his two perfectly functional legs. These guys were out on a wild safari, and the moment they spotted some animals, they immediately took out their cameras to snap some pictures. But this guy was stuck in the middle seat, and his view was completely blocked from both sides. He tried to get a few photos, but totally failed. Frustrated, he straight up slammed the door open, walked to the front of the Jeep and hopped right onto the hood. Feeling like an absolute boss, he started snapping photos of some birds up in the trees. But he was so distracted, he had no idea a massive lion had just silently crept up right behind him. And the moment he turned around, he froze and immediately started questioning his life choices. This group of friends made a huge mistake on their road trip. They gave the wheel to the only guy who didn't know how to drive. He was too embarrassed to admit it, so he pretended he knew what he was doing. Within seconds, he smashed into another car, but he dashed away, driving recklessly. The angry owner started chasing them. Suddenly, the car became unbalanced. They had a flat tire, but instead of stopping, the driver did something out of this world. He tilted the entire car on one side. The car kept moving on two wheels, while the friends started fixing the tire mid-drive. This guy was obsessed with YouTube shorts, chasing every single viral trend he saw. If something was trending, he had already tried it. One day, he saw a crazy video, a girl laying down on a sloping road just to stop berries from rolling away. The stunt looked cool, and the video had millions of views. Wow. Dumb as he was, he told his friend he wanted to try the exact same thing. Yes. His buddy instantly agreed. But little did he know, his friend had other plans. He got down on the ground, completely ready to stop the tiny berries. But poor him, he didn't see the massive coconuts rolling straight for his head. He didn't catch any berries, but definitely started a new trend. These two robbers spotted the absolute perfect target on a completely deserted road. A girl and her younger brother were just casually standing by the roadside. But suddenly, the robbers pulled right up. The brother completely panicked and bolted, leaving his sister totally behind. One of the robbers hopped off the getaway bike and approached her. So to avoid any trouble, the terrified girl immediately handed over her phone and ran away. The robber instantly hopped right back onto the bike to escape. But suddenly, his flip-flop entirely snapped. And instead of fleeing, this criminal mastermind actually sat right there trying to fix his flip-flop. But they had absolutely no idea that a police cruiser was watching their every single move. The cruiser rolled straight out from the shadows and completely blocked them in. The moment the officer stepped out, the flip-flop thief froze in absolute shock and threw his hand straight into the air, looking like he was posing for a poster of the world's dumbest criminals. These three friends were playing soccer when one of them got too excited and kicked the ball way too hard. The ball flew straight over their heads and dropped right into a street drain. They were all desperately trying to figure out how to get it back when one of them suggested, "Two of us could hold the third person and lower them in to grab it." "But who's gonna go down?" Her two friends instantly locked eyes on her. She completely panicked, but her friends immediately grabbed her by her arm and leg, awkwardly dangling her sideways over the edge. She tried to reach the ball with her free hand, but it just kept slipping. So, the friend holding her arm completely let go and grabbed her other leg instead, flipping her completely upside down. The girl finally reached the bottom and grabbed the soccer ball. She powerfully tossed it back up to them, but the ball completely flew in the wrong direction. And in a pure moment of panic, her two friends completely let go of her legs just to catch the ball, dropping their friend into the drain for a quick swim. This guy was absolutely hyped after just winning his wrestling match. To celebrate the victory, he rushed straight over to his coaches. The first coach went in for a handshake, but the wrestler went for a massive hug. But instead of actually hugging him, he grabbed the coach, flipped him right through the air, and slammed him to the mat just to show off his wrestling skills. Seeing his second coach stepping up for a hug, the wrestler decided to try the exact same trick. He grabbed him tightly, but right as he tried to launch him, the coach hit him with the ultimate Uno reverse. He perfectly countered the throw and body slammed his student right back to the ground, instantly reminding the kid exactly why he is the coach. This group of friends went to a haunted house, but they weren't getting scared by absolutely anything. The jump scares just weren't working. So instead of screaming, they just started goofing off and messing around with all the creepy props. Completely bored, they started looking for the exit, until they spotted a terrifying chainsaw man standing perfectly still in the corner. Assuming it was just another fake statue, one guy walked right up, mocked it, and actually tried to yank the chainsaw right out of its hands. But suddenly, the statue jolted forward. Absolutely terrified, the guy stumbled backward and fell onto the floor. Then out of nowhere, the actor revved up the chainsaw, and the whole group instantly went into pure panic. They started running for their absolute lives as he chased right behind them. Screaming at the top of their lungs, they finally spotted the exit and dashed outside, thinking they were totally safe. But the chainsaw man didn't stop. He kept chasing them straight out into the actual mall. Turns out, it was just a guy taking his job way too serious. They were watching the climax of a terrifying horror movie, and the scene was incredibly intense. That's when one friend saw the absolute perfect opportunity and tossed a golf ball right in front of them. Completely terrified, the guy sitting in the front literally hopped right over the sofa, screaming at the top of his lungs. But later, the same guy tried to act completely tough. Did you just get scared by that? You just got scared and ran away. His friends decided to play along. Oh, of course you didn't get scared. You're the absolute best. The guy walked away smirking, so his friends instantly decided to put his bravery to the test. They casually told him, "We're running to the store real quick." "Wait, I'll come along." But one friend quickly said, "It won't be long, just watch the house." And they secretly hid right behind the curtain. The guy nervously crept out just to check if they were actually gone. Trying to distract himself from his fear, he blasted some loud music and started dancing around the room. But then, the friends knocked on the front door. The guy froze and yelled out, "Who's there? Did you forget the keys?" He slowly walked up to the main door to check. But right at that exact moment, one of the friends quietly crept up and stood right behind him. And the absolute second the guy turned around,
这样，我们出去买个东西。我也去。走了。我最疼你呀！啪，一个右边腿就给你打着。不拿钥匙啊？
This guy was getting chased by the cops, and when they warned him to pull over, he instantly floored the gas and sped right into a neighborhood. Right then, a pizza delivery guy spotted him recklessly driving across a front lawn and yelled, "You better not hit my freaking car!" The cops were right on his tail. Suddenly, the suspect realized his car had completely run out of gas. His car rolled to a dead stop, and the cops yelled at him to surrender. But he completely panicked and impulsively bolted right out of the car. The cops sprinted after him, but the guy was way too fast. That's when the delivery guy saw the perfect opportunity to trip him with his foot. The guy launched into the air and totally face-planted right into the pavement, leaving the delivery guy to deliver absolute justice and a hot pizza at the same time.
Oh, shit!
This guy was completely glued to his PlayStation late at night. But little did he know, 2 robbers had just sneaked onto his property, scheming to steal his car. He was totally lost in his game when suddenly his security alarm blared and his CCTV showed the 2 thieves actively trying to break into his ride. The guy completely panicked and had absolutely no idea what to do. But then, he noticed the streamer iShowSpeed barking like crazy on his live stream. He instantly came up with the most ridiculous plan ever, sprinted outside, and started barking at the absolute top of his lungs. The first robber got absolutely terrified, thinking a massive guard dog was coming for him. In pure panic, he literally vaulted right over the hood of the car and sprinted for his life. The second robber saw the barking owner charging straight at him. He quickly kicked the car door open and completely hurled himself right over the front gate, while the owner kept barking into the dark until the robbers completely disappeared down the street. This guy rushed into the hospital for a checkup, but the receptionist told him he had to wait his turn. So he sat down on a bench, but he was so incredibly bored that he instantly started looking around just to pass the time. That's when he noticed a gap on the side of the chair. He stared at it and started wondering, will my head actually fit in there? He completely let his intrusive thoughts win, so he walked right over and tried to shove his head inside. And to his absolute surprise, it slipped right in. The receptionist called for his turn, but when he tried to pull his head back out, he completely panicked. No matter how hard he pulled, it absolutely wouldn't budge. That's when a woman sitting right next to him noticed the whole thing and totally mocked him, saying, "You're pathetic getting stuck in a chair like that. Let me show you how it's done." So she literally laid down on the bench, squeezed her own head right into the gap, and gave a massive smirk. But the exact second she tried to pull back out, her smile instantly vanished. Turns out, she wasn't going anywhere either. This guy has the worst luck ever. Wherever he goes, trouble finds him. After getting his salary, he decided to treat himself. He walked into a supermarket on his way home and grabbed his favorite snacks and a beer. Everything was going perfectly, but suddenly his bad fortune kicked in. His beer slipped and fell right onto the street. And just as he turned around, a bike ran straight over the can. And the moment he bent down to pick up, his wife told him there was something completely wrong with the car. So the guy immediately hopped up, totally ready to play mechanic and fix it. He dashed straight into the garage and popped the hood right open. He checked absolutely everything for hours, but couldn't figure out what the problem was. So he crouched down on the side and started aggressively shaking the entire car. But suddenly, the hood violently slammed straight down. The exact moment he realized his fingers were completely trapped under the heavy metal, he started screaming at the top of his lungs. His wife frantically rushed out to help, but had absolutely no idea how to pop the hood. He somehow managed to yank one hand free, but his other hand was still completely stuck. So he desperately pointed at the door and yelled, "Pull the lever inside the car!" The wife dashed straight into the driver's seat and immediately yanked the lever. But instead of the hood popping, the trunk popped wide open, leaving the poor guy sitting there in pure agony, completely rethinking all his life decisions. This guy was desperate for something late at night, and when he spotted a convenience store that was just about to close, he instantly gunned his scooter, and right as the owner was pulling the metal gate shut, he literally dove and action rolled straight inside. The storekeeper was completely terrified. Thinking it was an aggressive robbery, he panicked and hid right behind a rack. Meanwhile, the guy in the helmet started frantically grabbing items off the shelves like it was the absolute end of the world. But when he was finally done, he just dropped his stuff on the counter, looked at the terrified owner, and politely asked, "Can you ring these up, please?" The storekeeper was completely speechless. He slowly walked up to the guy and slammed his helmet visor shut in pure disbelief, realizing this dude just pulled a literal heist move just to get some last-minute groceries.
What the dog doing?
This guy was running away from a cop and thought he could easily outrun him. But suddenly he turned down an alleyway and realized the front gates were completely locked. Desperately looking for an escape, he spotted a drain pipe, and without even thinking, he started climbing straight up it like a literal monkey. The cop casually walked in, smirking, thinking he had him completely cornered. But the second he entered the alley, he was absolutely stunned. The guy had already vanished and was hiding all the way up on the roof. The completely confused cop scratched his head and started searching everywhere. He even checked around the trash bin. Unable to find him, the officer got so frustrated, he aggressively kicked the trash can while the guy hiding on the roof laughed. Suddenly, a neighbor stepped out onto his balcony, spotted the suspect, and started frantically pointing him out. But the officer somehow still couldn't see him. Confused, the cop started walking in the opposite direction. Seeing his perfect window, the suspect used his parkour skills to quickly climb back down and make his ultimate grand escape. These guys were doing crazy stunts in the park when two cops suddenly pulled up and completely busted them. While they were getting scolded, their friend on a nearby swing launched himself like a human missile straight onto his buddy's bike and bolted. The cops took off after him on foot yelling, but this dude was feeling on top of the world. He launched his bike straight off a grassy cliff and rode right up onto a house roof. Then he spotted an insanely sketchy wooden plank connecting two roofs. He literally shook as he balanced his way across, dropped down the other side, and kept moving with absolutely zero game plan. Then he ramped right up onto a table, looked down, spotted a parked car, and straight up dropped his bike directly onto the roof. He rolled off the car back onto the pavement, but suddenly spotted a police cruiser completely blocking the road. Instead of slamming on the brakes, he ghost rode his bike, leaped completely over the cop car, and perfectly landed on another getaway bike his buddy had staged right there waiting for him, pulling off the most disrespectful getaway of all time.
Where am I going? Oh no. Oh no.
Two thieves were busy shoplifting at a store, but suddenly they heard a loud noise. One of them sneaked around the corner to check it out. As he saw a robber holding a freaking shotgun at the cashier, he rushed back to his partner and told him the situation. He suggested they run away quickly, but his partner said, "We can't just leave. If the store is cleaned out by the robber, there'd be nothing left to steal later." So they came up with a crazy plan. One thief threw a skateboard toward the counter to distract the robber, while the other one sneaked up right behind him. And while the robber was distracted, he pushed him to the ground. Before making a run for it, the other thief grabbed the shotgun and tossed it right to the cashier. The cashier immediately hopped over the counter and restrained the robber. This father and son were out for a walk one evening when a car suddenly pulled up and blocked their path. Two men rushed out of the vehicle, and by shoving the father aside, they went straight for the son. Sensing danger, the father immediately ran to the driver's seat. After some struggle, those men locked the boy inside the trunk. But just as they were about to take off, they realized that the car had already been driven off by the father.